Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, my name is Nikki Cini, and I will be speaking about France today. France is very close to my heart. Not only is my middle name Paris, but for 2 weeks in 2014, my mom, grandma, aunt, and me were able to go to France and visit. And my mom actually created a book to remember the event by, and I will be sharing some of those pictures with you today. So the three main topics that I will be discussing today are the gestures, courtesies, and greetings that French people use in day-to-day life, and the variety of foods, the art form that food can be, and the variety of religions that you can find in France. So my first topic today is the gestures, the courtesies, and the greetings that you find in France. One of the things that you would find is that when you go into a shop in France, you automatically are kind of like required to say bonjour or hello to the shopkeeper and create an association between you and them. Whereas in America, you don't really do that. You just ignore each other until you need them to help you find the milk or get a fitting room or see if there's a deal or a special that's available. In France, when you create that association, you are pretty much best friends at the beginning. Just like my favorite person in all of France. This guy is a restaurant owner, and whenever we went over to his restaurant, he would always say, "My friends!" and he'd get so excited and wide-eyed and smiling, and he'd sit us down at a restaurant table. He'd say, "My friends, sit," and he would give us food and just talk to us, and it was great. Another part of French courtesies is vendors. Any place of main tourist attraction, you will find vendors with blankets set out or carrying around their merchandise trying to sell, just like this guy right here. And their goal is to get the most amount of money with the least amount of effort, or at least selling the least amount of items so they can sell more and get more money. Whereas customers, they're trying to get the most amount of items for the least amount of money. And my mother, being a fantastic real estate agent, is fantastic at bargaining. And so when she decided that she wanted to get a few keychains, she negotiated rather well and brought the vendor down to a decent price and was able to get a good deal on those keychains. And she told our tourist leader all about this story, and he was very excited because he's never heard of someone being that successful in bargaining with a Frenchman. Which brings me to my second point. As much as French people love to bargain, they love to make food even more. Food for the French is an art form. And any place that you go to, especially bakeries and patisseries, you can find an array of beautiful foods there that you almost don't want to purchase any of them and eat them because they're just too beautiful to look at. But once you do, the flavors can either be an explosion on your tongue or be a subtle melting that just zips sensations across your taste buds. Kind of like what ice cream is. Ice cream is also an art form in France. This is a picture of ice cream cones in the shape of roses with 3 different flavors of ice cream. And it's too beautiful to eat, but you kind of have to, unless you want to have it melt. Which leads me to my second 0.5 part. They've got normal foods, kind of like soda and paninis, which are grilled cheese sandwich, or they've got weird foods like escargot, which are snails that are baked in parsley, garlic, and butter, and they're very tasty, and they're my favorite foreign food. Which leads me to my third and final point. As much as there's variety in their food, there's also variety in their religions. According to Global Road Warrior, Roman Catholicism is the presiding religion in France, and they're followed by 80% of the population. The 20% left over is Protestants, Jews, Buddhists, and minority, which is lower than 1%, are Christian Scientists and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, which is me. On every street corner, you find church buildings, and the most predominant one, most people know, is Notre Dame, which looks like this. And Notre Dame is not only famous because it's so big of a cathedral, but it also survived a war. And after the war occurred, the French Revolution, when they were deciding whether to keep buildings and restore them or to completely demolish them, they chose to revive Notre Dame because of the story of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And to close, the French are a very creative people. They love their food. They are very generous with those who try to speak their language. And they just make friends rather easily. And they love their history and their religion. And as the French say, au revoir, or until next time.